Okay, and a couple more to close out here from our good friend XX McLovin XX, who's now, as he noted, he's been the last question or questions for 3 weeks in a row. He's got a few here. He says, all right, time for my trio of questions. 1 meme and 2 serious. 1, how much should I bet on Jordan Love winning MVP next year? And do you think he will achieve it? Gotta win the big money. Well, I took a look at this right here. Jordan Love is currently, this is unbelievable. Insane. 7th in next year's MVP odds right now at plus 1,400. He is only behind Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, it sucks to read Jordan Love's name followed by those 6 quarterbacks I just said. Oh, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, what's your question? How much should I bet on Love winning MVP? Yeah, it's worth a sprinkle, I guess, if you want. I don't like betting on any MVP guy. On any MVP guy.
MVP is just, we saw it this year.
This is an unpredictable question from McLovin.
It's unbelievable that Jordan Love is in the MVP.
This is a troll question from McLovin. Crap. I don't like it at all. Yeah, put $5 on it, see what happens.
No, put your life savings on it. I hope you lose all of it.
Why don't you throw like $200 on Jordan Love to win MVP next year? Look, he's got a shot. If we're going to be realistic, he has a shot. If he plays anything like he did, we said he would have been the second half of the year MVP if such an award existed. With that receiving core only getting better, that's the hope. Yeah, he's got a shot because the Packers could end up as a 1 or 2 seed next year if everything goes according to plan, which is a huge if, but it's worth a little sprinkle if you're a Packer fan. Ryan Smithy 5787 says there's a lot of excitement surrounding Jeff Hafley. It still sounds like Greg Hafley to me. Do you think he improves the Packers defense enough to make the Super Bowl next year? Yeah, that's a really big time question.
I mean, the answer is no, because it's very unlikely any team makes the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, the answer would be no, but I do expect the Packer defense to take a step forward from where they were this past year. I mean, it's hard not to from the middle of the season, the way that they looked. But if they do take that step forward, it really comes down to Jordan Love again to me. Jordan Love was an MVP level quarterback the second half of the season. If you don't get that from him, this team is not, they might not be a top 5 team in the NFC. So it starts with Jordan Love playing top level quarterbacking again. And then from there, if the defense takes that step up, of course they're a Super Bowl worthy team, because this year I think they would have gone to the Super Bowl if a couple things, like maybe one thing goes different in the 49ers game out of 10 different things that could have happened. They were probably on their way. So I do think the defense will take a step forward with Hafley and be fun to watch. It's a more aggressive defense that he runs.
It's not going to be fun to watch. Jordan Fuller is going to sign with the Packers. He's going to take off. He's going to show why the Rams did so well with him, and the Packers are going to do great.
It'll be fun to watch for Packers fans. 3, why is there such a distaste for Purdy when he wins? The man had the stats and the games to showcase his talent at the position, but when he wins, it's because of the surrounding talent, and when he loses, it's because he isn't the guy. Yet when Mahomes wins early on, and now it's all him, while he had Kelsey, arguably one of the greatest tight ends, Tyreek, one of the best receivers, and now a top 3 defense, and he doesn't receive the same criticism.
McLovin, I'm not sure what to tell you other than the fact that Patrick Mahomes is much better than Brock Purdy. You say Brock
Purdy's part of it.
Yeah, I'm getting there. You say that Brock Purdy has won a lot of games and put up good stats, and that's certainly right. But when you watch Brock Purdy's tape, and I've watched a fair amount because I've gone back and forth on this guy, what you see is a decent quarterback in a system designed for him to succeed. People praise his anticipation over and over again. His anticipation is bad. He just throws breaking routes because that's what Shanahan tells him to. You can tell when they're well covered, he throws them just the same as when they're not. Huge numbers of the plays, I get that the Chiefs generate yards after the catch, but so do the 49ers. And when it comes time, Purdy just can't make the same incredible athletic plays that some of the other top quarterbacks in the league can. So I'm not saying he's bad. He's a decent quarterback. He's probably overhated, but he's also overloved. The guy's just an okay player.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the times when the 49ers do lose this year, it's because, or did lose this year, it was because Purdy was really bad.
I mean, Purdy's really, meltdowns. Really when things aren't going his way, he's not going to.
That wasn't the case in the Super Bowl. I didn't think that Purdy was horrible in the Super Bowl. That was just a game, back and forth defensive game with an exciting fourth quarter and overtime. But a lot of the losses he was really bad in. As far as the wins, he probably should have deserved a little more credit for some of the wins. But when you have McCaffrey and Debo taking jet sweeps 70 yards for a touchdown, it's easy to be overlooked in that regard. So I will say, yes, Purdy can be overlooked in wins. But most of the time, the criticism in losses seems to be justified. Yeah, you explained it very well, Ziggy. Okay, last one here. He says, well, let's do a fourth because I'm feeling risky. We see Dak.
It's just frisky.
Oh, well, sorry. I wrote risky. Frisky. We see Dak year after year lose in the playoffs and get flack for it. Well received. Yet, when Rodgers couldn't win deep in the playoffs besides 1 year and couldn't get back to the Super Bowl, he doesn't receive the same level of flack. Is it because Rodgers did it once versus Dak never getting there?
I'm not sure if that well received is supposed to mean the criticism of Dak is like deserved or
That's
not.
What I'm assuming it means.
Maybe it means that it was in the past because Dak hasn't gotten criticism. But I mean, Dak has played pretty well in the playoffs. He hasn't been perfect, but he's played well enough.
He's had a couple
for the Cowboys
stinkers,
to win
though.
some games.
I mean, Green
sure
Bay
he has, but
bad,
most quarterbacks have. That's just true. But I mean, the NFL is a results-driven league, and the discourse is this way for better and for worse. But the fact that that Aaron Rodgers has won 1 Super Bowl, what people are going to remember that run more than they're going to forget all of the horrendous stinkers he's put up.
Yeah, the Super Bowl does mean a lot. If Aaron Rodgers didn't have a Super Bowl right now, all the talk about him going to the Jets last year would not have been, can he win a Super Bowl for the Jets? It would have been, can Rodgers win a Super Bowl with this Jets roster around him? And it changes everything. Just 1 Super Bowl. It's kind of crazy that the legacy of one player can be impacted that much from 1 trophy, but that's how it is. No
one's going to remember Aaron Rodgers refusing to scramble against the 49ers in that divisional game. Absolutely no one.
I mean, think about what's the first thing when people say Dan Marino. It's, he's one of the best quarterbacks ever, never won a Super Bowl. That's legitimately one of the first things people say always about Dan Marino.
Which is ridiculous.
Great
because
quarterback.
Dan Marino, yeah.
Yeah, but it is ridiculous, but that's just the way it is. So, Dak, I also don't think he's the caliber player that Aaron Rodgers is. So, and on the Cowboys, a little more attention. So, for Aaron Rodgers, when he hasn't shown up in games, he probably should get a little.
Let me tell you, Aaron Rodgers is going to get ripped apart next year when it turns out he's not good anymore. All
right. That's it for us on this show. A AFC West and mailbag show. Zach, thanks for soldiering through this tonight. We'll be back with, at some point this week, an NFC West show, and we'll continue the division breakdowns. But the mailbags are fun. We have a great time doing mailbags, so keep dropping those questions. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Paul Farrington Show.